With this one, you can pay, I think, 60 shillings a day.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's almost M-Pesa-ish.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You can get it on loan. You pay
Yes.
60
Installments.
shillings a day.
Yeah.
M-Pesa.
Yeah.
And they take it off your M-Pesa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Right? That was shocking to me.
They've already made money from you
And more.
to cover that asset. That it's such a, and then you usually find it's hidden behind a very big major player and a major financial institution that handles. So that is where you need the politics to come in and stop such companies from taking such advantage.
Let me say, there's a day I wanted to buy a solar light, like a solar system, and I went to a store. I think it was Zimmerman. It was the closest one to where I was. To where I was, and when I walked in and I asked for this for
The
that
solar lamp.
It wasn't a lamp. It was a system. It was like 5 lights to it and a thing, right?
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was going for 19,000. Now I was going to buy it and walk out, right? The lady who was telling me about it, because like the other thing I try to do is like, even if I've done my own research like I would here, I wouldn't go buy something I'm not so sure about. I'll go do my own research, know exactly what I'm buying when I walk into that store. But even having done my research, I listen to the salespeople because I want to hear from them, like what they think of the product themselves and what they're trying to sell me that I don't know, right? What I picked is she told me that, with this one, you can pay, I think, 60 shillings a day.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's almost M-Pesa-ish.
Okay.
Right?
You
You can get it on loan. You pay
Yes.
60
Installments.
shillings a day.
Yeah.
M-Pesa.
Yeah.
And they take it off your M-Pesa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every day,
Yeah.
right? That was shocking to me because I was like, okay, number one, I hate payments. Let's start with that. I like, even like my insurance or any loan I have, I hate payments and they are monthly. Okay, the whole idea of like I have to carry that in my head. So I when you're budgeting, when I'm doing my monthly whatever, I have to set around this amount of money because they will just be deducted from my bank, right? I'm okay, like I'm whatever. I have to live with that, right?
Yeah.
So wondering how someone leaves knowing that every day money is being deducted from their account and they are doing 60 a day because they cannot afford anything more than that.
And that's
right?
very popular.
And that's very popular.
People buy phones,
Yes.
fridge,
like that.
TV.
Lots of things like that, right?
Installments. In fact, installments payments, those things have been there since 19 Gongalo, the installment payments.
They've been
just
there.
that they've switched
They've
the
been
way
there.
this
What's
happens.
different? It's this daily.
Daily
Yes,
daily.
and that's why I
Yeah.
say they've switched because remember, if you're doing the daily, that means that they're also coolering interest.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's severe
And it's
interest.
really
Yes.
bad.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
really
very
bad.
bad interest.
And I remember I looked at my sisters like, what do you mean? Like the lady was telling me, if you want, you can be deducted 60 shillings a day. And I'm like,
But then
let me finish, Mika.
Yeah.
And I told my sisters like, what do you mean? This my sister told me, apa wako kwa ground kabisa.
Yeah.
This is ground,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you and I would probably walk into a store, which we were there to do, buy and get out. I don't
correct.
have to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
But like that every day. Can you imagine
Yeah.
that every day for somebody? I am totally, even in Kenya, I'm removed from that person. What do they have to do every day to make sure that that money is available on top
Mjengo.
of feeding people?
Yes.
Right? So, and I think when we talk about local politics, it's easy for us to talk from a point of view of like, I understand, but not really get the pain points of that person on the ground who like this is all that they can afford, and they are willing to commit to the interest rates that are very high, but they can afford the 60 every day, than telling the person either to buy it wholesale completely and leave, or even a monthly pay, because to them it's like by the time it's a month it's too much money, I can't pay, right? So I think if we were to fully understand that person, then probably we can understand politics in Kenya.
Okay, all right, let's go to Mika.
So for me, I'm looking at it from a totally different angle here. right? Because you understanding that person doesn't help that person in anything in any way. What we need to understand that economy. That is what we call microeconomy. So we need to understand that if we are going to fix issues pertaining Kenya and particularly Africa, we have to do what other countries that were in microeconomies have done to improve. We have to start investing in that microeconomy. The problem is in Kenya, we want to invest like we are first world countries. If you see startups, if you see things that if industries that people want to invest in, they want to invest in high earning industry, high money industry, high economic value. Yeah. If we want to improve Africa, minus the politics, no matter what politics you put in Africa, if we don't build an infrastructure to support that microeconomy and to grow it, we'll never get rid of it. So there's some things here where you have to look at it from a perspective of it's not just politics alone. It goes beyond politics.
So Mika, I hear you. I think what I'm trying to explain is like when we talk about on the ground, what we mean by on the ground.
Yes.
I think I was just trying to explain that.
Yes.
What we mean by what is on the ground.
And I think to piggyback on what Mika said, because I now do have some experience with investing on that microeconomy. You know, like rather than investing in Kilimani, in some silly apartment. You go invest down on the ground, you know, and I'm saying it because, you know, and I've said this in public before, you know, now I'm a proud owner of 3 different borders, and there's certain things that I'm learning now and noticing. So there's a company, a publicly traded company in Kenya called Car and General. So Car and General does not have it offers loans on borders and tuk-tuks. So what I came to learn about those loans, a border is like 100K. If you want a good one, maybe slightly more, you can get a used one for around 80K. So you can go buy those new ones at Car and General, and then they give you a loan that you have to pay with your earnings for a period of about 2 years. And at the end of that 2 years, 100K motorbike, you've paid maybe close to 200K. You know, like once you've calculated the fees, and then very likely because you sometimes you get sick, sometimes you get late fees. They are loaded in such a heavy way. So what I did is I get into a partnership. I buy the border. I get into a partnership with someone who can manage it for me, find the rider. So now the rider is not hooked to any debt. There's a second person who's managing it for me, who's also earning, and then there's me who's getting, you know, like a return. You know, rather than put that 100K in a bank and you get peanuts, you're actually better off, even you as an investor. So I think, you know, like piggybacking on what Mika has said, is we need to start understanding that microeconomy like you're talking about. Like what are people buying in those small amounts? Why are they doing it? You know, because they end up paying so much money. How is it that I can deploy my money to be able to alleviate, you know, like these crazy interest rates that people on the ground are paying? Because those are very, you know, like very predatory loans. They are worse than those loans that Obama, you know, like banned from here. And to me, I think hizo vitu, I think they compound poverty. I think people go for them because it's an option that's available at that particular time. But then when there's that temptation of getting a TV, a fridge, this and that, before you know it, you're working to pay those loans from what you're earning. Yeah, they sell you hope. Yes,
and they sell you knowing that even if they lost the asset that they've sold to you, they've already made money from you
and more
to cover that asset. That it's such a, and then you usually find it's hidden behind a very big major player and a major financial institution that handles. So that is where you need the politics to come in and stop such companies from taking such advantage. But then for that microeconomy to just increase and move, the thing is this: you see why even in America, when the economy goes down, they usually release stimulus checks. Stimulus checks don't go to rich people; they go to poor people. But when the poor people spend that stimulus check, what happened? Money is in circulation. When money is in circulation, the economy improves. Life becomes easier for everybody because money is available. Unaweza pata do, ukitoka nje unagongana na pesa. Suddenly pesa, when people are scared of spending and everybody is saving, everybody is holding on to their money, the economy suffers. So that's why always when money is moving, I can decide hizi takataka ni moshi kuja nikupe dola mbao pao nitufagilie hii backyard yangu. There's easy money for everybody because everybody is catching pesa ikitoka inarudi. It's not about people having money in the bank or anything. Money is in circulation. Ikiingie inarudi, kiingie kirudi, kitoka hivi najua. It makes the economy flows, it makes everything easier.
Okay.
Now when money is not flowing, it becomes an issue. Now the problem in Kenya is that politicians have learned that.
Okay.
And during campaign season, they withdraw money from the banks and start giving cash money, cash. And when you get cash, you go to the shop, you put it in your M-Pesa. You see that microeconomy starts, suddenly it boosts up. Suddenly everybody in the village has money. Mama wachanga na pesa kwa sababu watu walipewa pesa kanunua. Mama wachanga akaenda kanunua kabuche ya Omosh. Omosh akatoka hapo akakuja kwa Mika kanunua maziwa ya Mika. Mika akaenda kanunua waru za Ruth, kanunua mahindi ya Ali na nini ya Bandio. Money is moving everywhere kwa kijiji.
Okay.
Kwa sababu jamu wa kampeni alikuja katoa hizo 200.
Okay.
But then it disappears after a while when they go back and then they start holding the money for them to do what they were doing and you go back to square one. So we have to heal that from the politicians. Invest in that microeconomy. That politician doesn't have that loophole to control people.
Okay, all right, good. We're going to go to Ruth and then we're going to go to Bandio to play us the clips that are coming from the ground on what people down there are thinking of the diaspora. Ruth?
I think Mika did a very good thing to articulate what that microeconomy, why it drives politicians, because they know they've understood it, right?
It, yeah.
So if today all I need is 500 shillings to make my loan, to buy food, transport, something, money I have to work for, right? And a politician comes and gives me 1,000, right?
Solved your problems.
Solved my problem for 2 days.
Yeah.
Right? So it's easy for me to be inclined to vote for that person.
Okay.
Because in the moment, maybe in those 2 days, siko nimepatizo pesa, by the way.
Yes.
So this person has come and saved me. And so in my mind,
you don't forget that. You remember that.
Yeah.
You remember that,
yeah.
right? And then that let me finish. And in that moment, it's easy then for me to be like, you know what? Hata kama atarudi tena, when I was in need, when I desperately needed it,
alikuja
he
kanisaidia.
came through. He or she came through.
Okay,
Ruth,
before we go to the
Yeah.
audio. Yeah.
Yeah, real quick, remember, parliament inafungwa January, si ndio? Late January, February ikienda kuanza. Parliament inadissolviwa na mwendeni mkampeni. So kutoka hiyo time mpaka August. 200 kila weekend.
That's
So kila weekend mna guarantee mnakula at least kila weekend. On a lose Monday ukitembea unakutana na 50 bob. Kutoka kwa mtu mwingine mwenye na campaign. So that is that confusion can come in easily because for the next 6-5 months people won't have shida ya kukula ya kulala njaa.
okay. That is some serious problem solving.